Hello, I'm Ink. I'm a software developer from Moldova. I have primarily worked as a web developer for almost 10 years now, and I'm going to try myself as an indie game developer. I love playing video games. I've been playing since I was 6 and now I'm 30 and I still play when I have time. And I was wondering, am I only capable of playing, or is it possible for me to make a game by myself? I've been trying to study Unreal Engine for a long time now, doing a couple of tutorials, making a sandbox, leaving it for a few months or even years, and eventually coming back to repeat the cycle. This is not the way I could achieve something, and I needed to start a real project, so I couldn't just leave it and forget for another year. So I've decided to make a game. This is not the game of my dream yet, but rather a simple game that would help me to understand the entire path from an idea to a complete published project. So what's my first game about? The working title is Feed the Cat, but it might change in the future. Despite the name, this game is going to be a third-person shooter. The core idea of feeding the cat was proposed by my wife, and I'm trying to build gameplay and mechanics around this concept. A cat named Simon isn't just a normal cat, he's a scientist cat, and he's busy doing important research. But he can't work when he's hungry, so his companion needs to go to find him some food. This is where the shooter gameplay kicks in. In a universe where humans and animals coexist as equals, Quabe and Simon are friends and partners who explore various planets to complete research contracts for different companies. Together they founded their space research business. However, it's struggling financially and they must take any contract they can to pay the bills. In terms of a game, each contract represents one level. They deploy their mini-lab on a planet, and while Simon conducts his scientific part of the job, Quabe goes out in search of food for his friend, or maybe some useful samples that could contribute to the research. Each mission starts in the lab. This is a safe place where you return every time you need to feed Simon, have some samples to bring in, or just need to take a rest. After leaving the lab, you explore a semi-open world, searching for food and facing various monsters. I intend to make this part a dynamic, fast-paced shooter, so that returning to the lab would feel a necessary break. Let's dive into the game mechanics and see what I've achieved so far. There are two types of weapons, a pistol and a rifle. You can only equip one of each type. This is a sci-fi game, so all weapons are energy-based. There is no ammo, but there is charge. All weapons discharge while shooting, and the lab has a collection of so-called chargers, a socket where a weapon can be stored. It will enforce you to switch weapons after fight, because charging takes some time. There are two pistols and two rifles for now, and I'm planning to add more later. Utility is something useful, such as a grenade or a medikit, which can be used by simply pressing a button. You can choose one of these utility items before leaving the lab. Inventory is needed mainly for carrying food or research samples. I did not want to make a complex inventory system, so it just has a few slots where you can store picked up items. To get rid of items, you can use the respective interactable object, for example, placing food on the food table. There aren't many enemies in the game, and fight doesn't look really dynamic, to be honest. Here's the first monster I've made. It has basic mechanics, can chase the player, attack, and even leave from a distance. The AI is still raw, but at least it works. There are also some mechanics related to the lab and narrative. For instance, when you enter the lab, you cannot shoot, throw grenades, or run inside. I've also built a system that allows displaying text said by someone. These dialogues can be stored in data tables and executed individually or in batch. That's almost everything I could show for now. In the upcoming month, I plan to focus on creating a map for the first planet, polish some existing mechanics and maybe introduce new ones. I didn't stop making devlogs from the beginning and couldn't show the entire development process. However, from now on, I want to document and share as much as I can. I plan to release the second devlog next month. Until then, do not hesitate to ask questions or provide your feedback, whether you like the project concept or not, and why. I'd love to hear from you. You can leave your comments here on YouTube or join my Discord server, which I've linked in the description. Thanks for your time, and see you in the next one.